Introduction of Haiku 575 without 7-7-letter syllable verse with some word or phrase to suggest seasonal background. Haiku is a 575-letter syllable rhyme with some word or phrase to show what season, spring, summer, autumn or winter, the poem was created in. Structurally, haiku is a shorter version of tanka. Historically, haiku was born as a spin-off out of renga, a 575-77 linked verse created in tandem by two different poets. Renga had a way of falling classically flat in the closing 7-7 part, cheerfully ruining the hopefully sophisticated initial 5-7-5 part. By doing away with the latter 7-7 part, a 5-7-5 format haiku eliminated the risk of starting out great and ending up flat. For good or bad, it simply runs through without swerve. There is no room for 5-7-5 haiku to fall flat or awry like 5-7-5-7-7 tanka, and no room for dramatic twist in the latter part either. A poor example of 5-7-5 that fails to be a haiku and ends up in an incomplete renga. Look at the following example to see what haiku can fail to say in the absence of the closing 7-7 letters. In 5-7-5 Japanese syllables, neko mo ne de namameku haru no yoru no kaze. Neko, noun, a cat. Mo, postpositional particle, addition, even, also. Ne, verb, sleep, go to bed. De, postpositional particle, negative circumstance, without ing. With cat staying awake all night long, amorously mewing and wooing on the street. Namameku, verb, feel seductive, somewhat sexy. Haru, noun, spring. No, postpositional particle, possessive, z, of, belonging to. Yoru, noun, the night. No, postpositional particle, possessive, z, of, belonging to. Kaze, noun, wind, breeze. Vernal breeze at night feels strangely enticing. In rather explanatory 5-7-5 English words, cats meow on at night, allured by amorously warm wind in spring. Time is ripe for love. The 5-7-5 above is an example of a poem that fails to be a haiku. It does depict a scene of a spring night, but the scenery feels somewhat incomplete. The amorous atmosphere of the cat meowing night must have influenced upon the poet's emotion one way or another, and yet this 5-7-5 poem is strangely emotionless. Lack of emotion itself is not a bad thing in a haiku, for it is a type of poem that structurally refuses to express emotion in words, concentrating on depicting scenery alone, and requires the reader-hearer to imagine emotion latent behind the scenes. But the 5-7-5 rhyme above fails as a haiku, in that it does not offer any emotional direction in which to lead readers in their imaginative complementation. Suppose the poem above was the first 5-7-5 part of a renga, what kind of a following pair of 7-7 would you add to complement it? It might, for example, be something like this. In 7-7 Japanese syllables, 一人ぬるみに糸ど冷たし。一人 adverb alone in solitude. 掛け言葉 start. A ぬる verb sleep go to bed. み noun status condition circumstance. B ぬるみ noun lukewarmness tepidness. 掛け言葉 end. 2 postpositional particle direction upon. 4 糸ど adverb all the more. 冷たし verb feel cold cruel. It feels all the more cold and cruel for someone who sleeps alone without any lover beside. In 7-7 English words, all the colder for the rapturous feel on a lonely one sleepless in bed. Or how about a more amorous pair of 7-7 like this? In 7-7 Japanese syllables, 明かし果て天鳥のせくまで。明かし verb stay up, go on doing something all night. 果て verb do something till the end, finish doing something. て auxiliary verb perfect tense. Auxiliary verb will let's. Let us stay up all night making love with each other. 鳥 noun a cock bird that cries in the morning. No postpositional particle subject. せく verb interrupt interfere. まで postpositional particle time span until the morning bird starts shouting and urges us to stop making love. In 7-7 sexually equivocal English words, shall we stay up all night too until the cock crows in the morning? 掛け言葉 start. A. The cock crows. An adult male chicken cries out in the morning. B. The cock crows. My dick, Johnson, penis, exults loudly over the satisfactory conquest of the night. 掛け言葉 end. Well, what do you think? Whichever version of 7-7 you like or dislike, the fact remains that the first 5-7-5 rhyme does not preclude either story as part 2 of the scene because it fails to offer any directional suggestion. In short, the 5-7-5 poem above is not exactly a haiku that is complete in itself, but merely a part of renga that is waiting for a following pair of 7-7 to complement and complete it. Although the actual world of haiku is infested with such unfinished stories, the authentic world of haiku that its originator Matsuo Basho aspired for was a complete sketch of a seasonal scenery, hopefully with emotional background lurking behind the scenes. A successful example of haiku. The following example, though lacking in emotional background, could be rightfully deemed as a haiku, for it does not require or admit of a following pair of 7-7 to complete it. In 575 Japanese syllables, 花吹雪、冬も桜も散らしけり。花吹雪、noun, cherry flowers flying in the air like snow in spring. 冬、noun, winter. も postpositional particle, juxtaposition, and 桜、noun, cherry trees, cherry blossom. も postpositional particle, juxtaposition, and 散らし verb, scatter, dispel, let go. けり auxiliary verb, past. Spring wind has dispelled winter, along with cherry flowers flying like snow. In 77, not 575 English words, flowery storm raging on the spring field, winter and cherry blossom both swept away. A 575 without any seasonal background is not a haiku, but a senryu. A 575 letter syllable rhyme is not a haiku unless it contains some word or phrase to suggest what season the poem is about. Such 575 verse with no seasonal scenery in it is called senryu instead. In 575 Japanese syllables, 延べ送り果ててみる世の愛しさ。延べ送り noun, participation in a funeral procession. 果て verb, come to an end, be finished. て postpositional particle, result, and, afterwards. 見る verb, see, look at. よ noun, the world, life. の postpositional particle, possessive, z, of, belonging to. 愛しさ noun, preciousness, dearness, loveliness. The loveliness of this world after participating in a funeral procession is so... you know what I mean. In 57, not 575 English words, coming back from someone's funeral finds me more attached to this world. In addition to the absence of any season in the poem, pay special attention to the emotional conclusion, 愛しさ, loveliness. Such is not the way for haiku to go. In haiku, emotion must not verbally show itself off. If you want to change the senryu above into a haiku, a small seasonal addition in place of emotionally verbose 愛しさ, loveliness will do, as in the following example. In 575 Japanese syllables, 延べ送り果ててみるのの花吹雪。延べ送り noun, participation in a funeral procession. 果て verb, come to an end, be finished. て postpositional particle, result, and afterwards. 見る verb, see, look at. の noun, the field. の postpositional particle, place, in, on. 花吹雪 noun, cherry flowers flying in the air like snow in spring. After participating in a funeral procession, coming across cherry flowers falling off the leaves to fly in the air like so much snow in the spring wind, as if suggesting our mortal destiny. In rather explanatory 575 English words, coming back from someone's funeral, I saw cherry flowers flying like snowstorm. Likewise, we mortals all go. The closing part, no hana fubuki, cherry storm in the field, instead of yo no ito shisa. Loveliness of this word is typical of haiku. It prefers depiction of scenery to direct expression of emotion, hoping to hide emotion behind the scenes for readers or hearers to imaginatively discover. In this modified haiku, the closing phrase no hana fubuki, cherry storm in the field, is suggestive of all living things that used to flourish but will ultimately be blown in the wind to fade out into nothing. Such undescribed emotions are as nothing in the English-speaking world as it is everything in the world of haiku. Hence, the necessity of the last 5 words of likewise we mortals all go in the English translation, while the addition of such plainly explanatory phrase would only render a Japanese tanka vapid and a haiku impossible. Remember the 17-word limitations and seasonal hint requisites. See how different East is from West and West from East. Expressionless depiction of visual scenery alone cannot fail to end up in English as something brusque and possibly self-indulgent with no intention to reach out to others. If you should make an attempt at 575 English, I suggest you try making an emotional senryu instead of a seasonal haiku. It may still sound strange in English, but not bluntly vapid, perhaps. And the best way, of course, is to enjoy reading or making haiku or tanka the way they are meant to be in Japanese language. East is East, West is West.